I shouldn't have, with the people I shouldn't know. I might have had and still I'm that. It's the only thing that I fucking do.
my head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels, they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget, but you're breaking down my walls again, just to set me free. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Staying up when I go out, you gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you. Your fingertips are drifting away, and I fucking love how it hurts. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do why do I, baby, why do why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling?
Good evening, chaps. How are we doing? Welcome back to second part of tonight. Evening, Jab. How are we doing, mate? Oh dear. So here we go again. Tonight we are soldering this time, and there was actually a guy on Instagram today who couldn't believe that I'm still using a gas soldering iron. Like I said, I'm a relic. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna solder some motors together. I actually did cheat a little bit last night after we left. I've actually already soldered in 2 of the 4 motors, because let's be honest, who wants me to watch me do the same thing 4 times? So I think twice is enough. I'll get to pass, and then we can move on to bigger important things. So let's swap to the other camera. You can see how far we got. There we go. So we've got, where's my pointer gone? So we've got 2 motors each side, the front 2 soldered in. And before I start soldering and we start doing all this, I need to do a little disclaimer, because some people will copy what I do, and if it goes wrong, then I'm the one to blame. So here goes. I don't know the only way to build a quad. I only know a way to build a quad the way I taught myself to do it. There are many ways to do things. Ride a bike, please a woman, whatever you want to call it. I don't confess that I know the right way to do them all. So whatever you see tonight, take it with a pinch of salt. If it's a bit of advice, gets you a bit further, happy days. So there you go. Don't blame me for anything. And there's no guarantees that this might not catch fire when I plug it in later anyway. So all we can do is do our best. Ah, dear. And to top it all off, we have a healthy drink tonight. It just helps the nerves. Dear me. Right, so what I've done so far, obviously we've got the ESC on, we've got the cable here which will loop up into the flight controller. Excuse me a minute, I've got such an itchy nose tonight. Right, and the motor wires, what I've normally done on all my other ESCs, my 4-in-1s, is I normally come across the top and solder on, and I thought about coming across the front and just up and on, and then it's kind of too exposed. So what I've done is gone in and underneath and then looped up over around. The only reason I think when I come across the top is this section here, the pretty part, as we look at it, is actually a heat sink. So this is going to get very hot and dispersing heat. So if I put wires across the top, last thing we want to do is be melting anything shorting out and catching fire. So we've gone underneath where there's plenty of room, nice bit of space, and looped up over and soldered into here. My mate Mike always says to me, how do I get my solder? I don't know if you can see that. If I pick it up a bit, you can't, because it's not going to focus, is it? Focus. Doesn't want to play, does it? Or is it going to? Ah, there you go. Always says, how do I get my solder so shiny? And if I'm honest, I have no answer for you. It always comes out really shiny. I'm not using anything special. I'm using I'm using a gas soldering iron. Here we go. This is a said gas soldering iron. It's a snap-on one. Being an owner of a garage, I'm going to use the tools I have there. And the solder isn't anything special either. It's a Loctite solder. There you go. There's the numbers if you need to. It's relatively thin, but it always comes out nice and shiny, very clean. I very rarely have to clean the circuit board up with any with any alcohol or anything at the end of it. So it all, you know, it all comes out very clean. So yeah, I have no secret. That is what I use, and it always comes out nice and shiny and clean. And I've bought the earbuds and the alcohol to wipe over, and it just, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, you can see it there. It's very, very shiny. Right temperature and a good 60-40 soda. If that's what you're telling me, Jab. I mean, my soda runner has no temperature gauge. It's either on or it's off. You know, it's gas. So, you know, I know a lot of people use the electric ones, the TS ones, and they run it off a LiPo and stuff, and they, you know, and I've seen some brilliant results with them. But hey ho, hey ho. Right, let's get on with it. Let's fire up this bad boy. Get a flame going there. So let that heat up. Right, so what I did last night, and you can see here that on the arms I've gone across. Now people are going, oh, you should have put some race wire on there, you're gonna get prop strikes, you're gonna cut through the wire. No, not on my watch, baby. What I've actually got here is on, let me soda around, go in there. On these arms here, it looks like it's wrapped in electrical tape. Now theoretically, yes, it is electrical tape, but you'll find this on the website quite soon. It's actually a self-amalgamating electrical tape. Now it's actually about 4 times thicker than electrical tape. It still has the properties of electrical tape, and it comes in a reel like this, and as you pull it off, it's not sticky. So it's not like sellotape or anything like that. And you peel it off the clear backing, and on the other side it's exactly the same. You know, it kind of reminds me of the Omega grips in all honesty, but when it touches itself, as you can see, the end bit there is folded over. My god, it just bonds itself together. So I'm going to have to actually chop that little bit end off now and do away with it, because that bit's ruined. So yeah, when it touches itself, it bonds itself together. It still stays in a rubber form. I would say it's a good maybe 1.5 mil thick. It still stays in a rubber form, and it is reasonably lightweight, and just creates this rubber barrier. Now it will withstand prop strikes to a degree, like everything's to a degree. Even with the race wire, you know, there's only sometimes you can hit it before it'll crack, or you know, the insulation you put it on the arm, and you know, everything's short out. It's the way it is, isn't it? It's the name of the game. It'll probably take about, I've seen it take probably 9 or 10 prop strikes, and then all it will do is have a little tear in it, and at which point, to change it, to get it off, because like I said, it's not sticky. It doesn't stick to anything. It doesn't stick to plastic. It doesn't stick to carbon. It only sticks to itself. So when you wrap it around something, it sticks to itself, and that's where it stays. So in order to get it off, you take a scalpel or a Stanley blade, and you just put a slice down the side. It cuts really easy with a blade. Obviously with a plastic prop, not so much. And then you just unwrap it, and it comes off. It leaves no residue, no marks, no nothing on the actual frame itself. And on this section here, like you can see, it's exactly the same thing, but we have a clear version. And the only reason I put the clear version there is obviously so you can still see this metal plate on the bottom. So yeah, so if any of these split at any time, you just peel it off, wrap it around, go again. It's that simple. And if you wanted to be double short, like I've done here, what I did is I went around the arm first, then laid the wire down. Only one layer, just go around the arm, laid the wire down, and then went around again with the same piece over the top of the wire. So that way, if by any chance it does go through because you're in a hurry, you haven't changed it from when it split last time, and you do manage to slice a wire, that wire is actually not going to arc out on the arm because you've wrapped the arm as well. So, little tip, this stuff will be available on the website. I think as of this weekend, I think there's a whole load of new stuff going up of connectors and stuff. One of my friends said, oh, why don't you do all the little connectors and stuff that I need? I said, okay, let's look into this, get it in. So yeah, there'll be all sorts going up, and that tape being one of them. It comes in quite a big roll like this. It's all crinkly on the outside because of the clear stuff, but yeah, you'll get it in clear and in black. Obviously I use it all the time, so yes, be good. Right, shall we get some work done? Oh, another thing I didn't show you last night, actually, when we went through list of parts. With the Dallas-E engine, obviously you get you don't get an XT60, so again you're going to need to buy one, but it does come with a capacitor like this one here, and it is a 1000 UF up to 35 volts. Now I'm not a big fan of it, obviously, but if you're running 6S, you need it to kind of clear it up. But there's nothing worse than having your XT60 cable coming off here, and then you've got to kind of solder this in, and then that's there, and it's exposed, and you know, if that comes off and goes front and around, it's only to short something out. So what we have is one of these, which we sell them on the website. XT60 connector. I've already trimmed the length. It does come about this long if you need it to be, and it has a 1000 UF capacitor in it up to 35 volts, and it's already soldered into the bottom of the XT60, and it's in a nice 3D printed case. So all we're going to do later on is solder that to it. That way our capacitor is out the way of everything else. And to be fair, if you're going to slap a dirty capacitor in there, and let's be honest, we don't have a lot of room. So, you know, time you put your lead in it, it's going to be up on the angle. It's just something else to hit, isn't it? It'll just be awful. So right, there you go. Done away with that. Right, so with the motors then, all I did last night was we raised up the ESC a little bit so that we can loop the wires underneath. Let's do this side first. And all I'm doing is measuring the wire along. I'm going around the top side that way because I want to keep it inside. Create a little kink because that's the length we need. Get it for trim. If anybody's got any questions, obviously just pop them up. It's a pity I can't hear you guys really because you rely on me looking at the screen. Coke can? What you on about, Jav? Coke can? You on about my drink? The delay is awful. Time I say something and somebody sees it, it's horrendous. These are the joys of YouTube. Size of the cap, oh yeah. Yeah, he's a booty. But this is what's recommended for the old 6S world. What can I say? Oh dear. Right, so once I've cut that one, obviously we're just gonna prep him. A bit of soda. I presume that all the smoke just rises to the lens. It does. I was just watching it on the delay video. It just, you lot all get fogged out when I soda. It's brilliant. And then what we're going to do, we're going to huck it underneath. Put it around. You can't see much, if I'm honest, because, again, sausage fingers. We're going to put a bit of soda on the iron. It will just help transfer the heat when we go to side of soda. There's nothing worse than trying to solder and you're hanging it on to now this just spells burning my fingers territory. So what I do have so that you don't laugh at me. Pair of tweezers. Everybody loves a pair of tweezers in their life. Everybody must have a pair of tweezers. So what we're gonna do, zoom out. It is so fiddly, especially with my fat sausage fingers. Oh, wish we could have days where, you know, pay somebody to do this stuff. It's only a matter of time. I might actually get away with not using my tweezers. This might burn my fingers, but hey ho. Wow, that was bloody hot. Didn't actually go down as far as I like, so now I'll use the tweezers. Let's get them on there. There we go. Give them a wiggle, makes it secure. I'll move on to the next one. I'm not really bothered about the order we're putting the wires here, because obviously tomorrow we come and do this. Obviously tomorrow is all about setting it up, so if the motors are going the wrong way, we're just going to log into BO Heli and change the direction of the motor. We're not going to strip it down and do the old school way of swapping motor wires over just to make it spin the other way. It's not a done thing these days. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be things I'm doing this evening that people aren't going to agree with. Don't really care. It's just yeah, I mean, a lot of people are into, obviously, oh, this comes with this feature, and oh, this comes with that feature, and I need everything, and my OSD on my screen needs to be showing everything I need to know. Well, does it? Because as far as I can work out, all I need is a battery voltage and maybe my call sign, because I'm racing, and at the same time I need to see where I'm going. I don't want my screen buried in junk. You know what I'm saying? Man, I need to get some smaller fingers. You know what I'm saying? Amps are a huge help. What, how many amps you're drawing? Yeah, they are. To be honest, all my racing quads, all I ever have on the screen is my call sign, my battery's voltage, maybe a timer, and that's probably about it. In the heat of the moment, I know James is a highly experienced racer. Maybe he gets time to look around at his OSD, because I really don't. I'm too busy trying to catch him, if I'm honest. Oh dear. He is a quick boy, I must admit. Don't need any of that. We're on 25 milliwatts. We're within a football size pitch. Yahoo! Off we go. You know, but like on my freestyle quads, if we're out doing a bit of long range or diving, whatever, yeah. Well, it means my freestyle quads, they have amps drawn, they have battery voltage, they have RSSI. You know, you name it, it's there. But if it's, you know, I've got to concentrate on the moment, and I can't can't look around that screen, something like that. Oh, I didn't preparize that one. Yeah, I need prep. I need to know. I need to know. I thought I'd push it in there because I was going off the screen. Where am I going? There you go, you can see what I'm doing now. Look. Do, 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 do. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, can't find that one. Go on, someone's going to say it. That's what she said. Maybe I should have done that one first. Hook around, come on. There we go. There he is. Get my tweezers, that boy. Must admit, no nerves tonight. I had massive nerves last night. It was his, yeah, it was a bit like that. Right, put some soda on there. Can you all hear what noise my soldering iron makes? It's groovy. So what soldering irons is everybody else using these days? I know I'm a relic and I'm on a gas one. What's everybody else up to? Oh man, did this last night, no problems whatsoever. There we go, look. Good old fingers. Just burn them off instead. One side down, one to go. And we get to some interesting stuff. No, I'm saying. Yeah, but you use electrical one, don't you? I'm sure you do. Is that just your in your field one, or was that your what do they call it? Your go-to temp control workstation one? I think it was £14 from Rapid Electrics. It's very cheap. That is very cheap for a soldering iron. My gas one costs more than that. So now I got ripped off by Snap-on. Everything from Snap-on's a rip-off. I hope they're not watching. You know, because shit could go wrong. Ooh, oh, I swore. I did it. It was going to happen. It didn't happen last night, but it has happened tonight. I swore. So tomorrow night, then, if, and I say if, we can get enough viewers, maybe we should have a bit of a live giveaway, possibly. Any suggestions what we should be giving away? I love it when you ask people this because they come up with the most horrendous ideas. What should we give away tomorrow night? After the beer video is done, what should we give away? The quad. No, I've got to use this one. I ain't build in a second. It's not that. How did I know the quad was going to come up on this conversation? Problem is, and I don't know if any of you guys are the same, when you build a quad, get a bit attached to it. It's like a lot of love's gone into it. You know what I mean? And you're made in that bad boy. And then yeah, you don't want to give away. Props. Props we can do. What sort of props? What props are you flying? Are we talking HQ or are we talking GemFan? I appreciate some of you guys, whilst I'm doing this, in the webcam you're just staring at my forehead. Doop. It's an emotional roller coaster. It's something tells me I should have done the other ones first. Hey ho, we get it in. We can give away some props, it's not a problem. Trying to get this wire. Oops, there it is. It was always going to be said, wasn't it? Need some soda. It's a whole bit of soda really, isn't it? Smoky Joe. Let's come back in again. I know it's coming. That first one I put on was really making it a pain in the ass. I'm going to have to do it the other way around because it's just making it flipping awkward. Let's get rid of that one. There we go. Soda, clean them off because he's, you know, get him dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Who else we got on then? Pop your names up on the chat. Let's have a nosy. Who have we got? We know we got Jab. Oh, apparent a little bit. No cookies here, boss. Now I see why you said build mine myself. No cookies here, boss? Who are you? No cookies here, boss? Shane? Is that your actual real name? Or you're just calling my name? Because that is my first name. So if you are, no way. What up, guys? No cookies here, boss. Jesus. That's a hell of a name, isn't it? Hell of a name. It's like Jano name. What made you come on here? Oh yeah, this is, hang on a minute, this is the guy that wants me to build him one. And I said, no, you need to build your own because it's a complicated matter. And if you break it, you will know how to repair it. Well, it will help you understand how to repair it. So are both of you there, or is it just the one of you? The name got me though. Oh, it's in there somewhere. Look. Come on. Oh, tweet time. That's why. Doesn't Zoe work nights? I thought she works nights. What? For people who don't know, RS, Shane and Zoe are customers of mine from the garage. Very nice people. But Shane doesn't fly and he's looking to get into it. So he said he'll come and see me, which is great. Oh, she is working. Boo! She's a funny lady. Ryan ate all the sweets the other day. Right. We have all motor wires connected. I can turn my iron off for a moment. Oh, give me some drink. Oh. He spilled me drink. Right, on to me tape wrapping. See, you can see why I only did two motors, because it's so bloody fiddly. And if I sat here and did all four motors the same, you'd be like, oh, is it time to go home? Yeah, is it time to go? So yeah, and now I just need to wrap them in place. So is your black tape. I have my scissors. Let's get rid of the waste from that. If you keep hearing a clunking, that's because on my right hand side is my bin. So what we need is a section about that long, like so. Remember, don't let it touch itself. It's going to want to curl up, but don't let it touch itself. And what I did is, right, take the backing off. Again, see, it's not sticky. Not at all. Not until it touches itself. And cue the jokes. I don't know what you lot are like. Alright, underneath there, go around. Right, there. It's now touched itself underneath that, and it is not going anywhere. Let's get rid of my scissors. Alright, so what we're going to do is lay the wires down flat, up into that red plate. Probably can't see much, like so. And then we're going to wrap. But you can pull it like it's elasticated over the top, and then just keep going around until you run out of tape. There you go. And then, like again for this red section here in the corner, because I left the wires quite slack, and the reason for that is on the test flight we're going to be moving these arms around. So currently at the moment we're in a hybrid state, nice narrow on the rear, nice and wide on the front. We're going to be moving around, so true X and stretched X and God knows what. Oh, my camera decided to go off. There we go, back on. So hence why I left some wire slack, which is always good. Right, so what we do with the clear one, I'm just going to slice it down the middle like so. Take the backing off again. Now I'm not going to use all this strip, I don't think, because it's just too much. Right, so stretch it down underneath. Again, that so it won't stick to anything until it meets itself. Roll it around. If you want to stretch that up over and go again, you can do that. There you go. Arm number 3 done. Bar. So we need some more black. We'll get rid of the rubbish, because nobody likes rubbish on their desk. We'd love to see this in action once complete. That is the plan. We Monday nights up the horse place. It will be in action. I'm planning and hoping that Jab is going to do some flying with us as well on testing this one, so I can record it and get his professional opinion on it. Would be nice. Well, you know, Jab is king, isn't he? He's king when it comes to flying. Everybody knows who Jab is. Actually, I'm surprised you don't know who he is, because you all live in Tabby together. Ready? Watch the local conversation kick off now. Right, so I'm going to wrap that around. There we go. So the black is done, and the other half. Remember the other half with clear we cut? I'm going to use that for the top bit. Yeah, Jab's a Tabby boy as well, so you lot are all close together. Down underneath, wrap it around, then it touches itself. I'll touch myself. There you go, up over. Sweet. Motors done. Also, we can just sink ESC back down in this stack. Whoop whoop. We might have to fiddle around with the wires to get it lower, because I don't think it's set all the way down now. The wires are piled up on top of each other. That's why I left it slack. There you go. It goes down. Right, so now I need a hot iron. I need a really hot iron. Leave that on. We need to solder our XT60 in place. Again, I've already pre-cut this one and tinned it, so it's ready to go. Just going to get the iron nice and hot. Tabby Life. Is Tabby Life actually that good? I'm not sure, you know. I used to live in a small village once, and I find them very clicky. It's a sweet life. I'm not convinced. Not convinced, Jab. Oh well. If anybody thinks I'm doing anything wrong, then tough. It's my video, and I was gonna build it the way I wanna. And then on Monday, I will open up a can of whoop ass with it. It'll be great. I do find it highly annoying I can't actually hear anybody. It's like I'm sat here talking to myself. It's just horrendous. Right. Right, so the ground we're going to solder on first. These things are buggers. He did go a little bit. It soaks up massive amounts of solder getting these on. And to be honest, more is merrier when it comes to an XT60 connector. You do not want this. Where's my tweezers? Because this is going to get shockingly hot. You do not want this coming off halfway through your flight. So there you go, he's on. We solder knife again. It's the place to be. Yeah, I hear you have electricity now. Is that right? Sorry, I can't resist. That was quite funny. I even snorted. Right, let's turn my solar iron down. Right, so there we go. ESC motors connected. XT60, which I think is long enough because I normally take it down the side and the battery one loops around, so that's fine. And in case you wondered, we have a designated slot in this frame which we will put our Gowie strap through for our battery. Sweet. Right, so now, and because you can see that it's squidgy mounted. Right, so on to our flight controller. Now we've got the boring stuff out of the way, because let's face it, the motors is like the longest part of every build, and I find it so tedious. Because then when you get down to the flight control, you're like, oh yeah, this is the last, you know, this is your home run, because this is the easy stuff. Fiddly, but easy. So, flat controller on, and we are going to plug in the ESC from the board below. I'll push that to a side. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to twist that a little bit, just so it looks a bit better, doesn't it? Oh my god, my sausage fingers are just disabling me. I'm so disabled. Right, so now on top of these, obviously so it didn't go anywhere, we need to put the nuts of the stack. Now normally if I'm using plastic nuts, I'll put some thread lock on it, but I don't need to on these because these are metal, well, it's a big metal bolt that goes through it, and the nuts on the top are actually nylock. I've got nylocks in them, so I'm just going to tighten them down like so. Look at that, looking beautiful. I will say is to check that the FC, I don't know if you can see through there. There you go, you can see a gap underneath. Just make sure that the FC is not actually touching the ESC. Hence again why I said that the plate on top of the ESC is a heatsink. So again, if anything drops down and touches it, it will short out. So make sure you've got enough grain clearance there. Right, drink. I need a drink. Oh, beautiful gin and tonic. Gin and tonic. We actually made that gin. It was nice. Went away to Solcombe with the wife, Mrs. H, and made the gin. beautiful, beautiful. And gin's not bad either. Right, more confessions of last night's drama. I did put the camera. Oh, let's take the wire out. Take the wire out. There we go. I put the camera in the camera plates. All right, so obviously it's in a screw there and a screw there, and we know it slots in there. All right. So this is the original wire. Again, push into there. Now this, people are gonna argue with me. Right, it's a racing rig. Absolute bare minimum is what I like. Don't like, and it's just me, you know, a lot of people like every feature going. I don't want to clutter the FC with unnecessary crap to do, so I don't use the camera control for Betaflight. Just don't use it. I leave this little dangly bit, which is the one that plugs into the joystick that comes from Foxer, just hanging at the bottom of the frame, and then I chuck it back up so when I'm not using it. But what I'll normally do is set up contrast and the colour after I've built it for indoors, and then obviously if I want to go outdoors I'll just take it outside and adjust the colour there, and I set it up the once and it's left. So yeah, I don't, when I'm racing I don't need too many functions on here of no polite way of putting it of crap going wrong. Don't want it, don't need it, not interested. My freestyle quad, not a problem. I'll put as many options, and I'd like a busy on when I'm just cruising around on long range, whatever. I like a busy screen. It looks nice. But racing, minimum of text, love it. So on this one, I've removed the control cable to control the brightness and contrast of this camera. Again, like I said, I will be leaving that on the bottom, but it's very rare I use it. And all we've got here, I've just twirled the cables together, is live, ground and video signal, which we are going to solder in here on the flight controller. Is it really 10 to 9? Wow. Wow. Right, anyway, so yeah, we've got ground, live and video, or video in on here. That's it, that's our lot. There's a jumper healer that's set to 5 volts. We can move it across to 10 volts if you want to throw 10 volts at the camera, but the camera itself works from, I believe, 5 volts to 36 volts on input. So yeah, it's all good, it's all good. So what we need to do now, I don't think that wire's not short enough. We need to trim this wire, prepare them, and then solder them on, and then put the camera on that bad boy. Jab says kiss. Is there something we don't know? Or is he on about my alien because it's got kiss on it? Keep it super simple, stupid. Hey, you leave my kiss one alone. There's nothing wrong with our Mr. Steel Alien. To be fair, almost everybody I've come across, and this is one that you can all answer. Do you prefer? What do you prefer for freestyle? Do you prefer KISS, or do you prefer Betaflight, or do you prefer Flight 1? Drop your comments in the box. Let's have a discussion here. Probably get heated, but you know, why not? So freestyle frame, do you prefer KISS, Betaflight or Flight 1? waiting for some answers to come up whilst I'm soldering here. I know what Jav's going to say. Flight 1 for freestyle, Betty Flight for racing. Man's controversial. Each their own. For me, Betty Flight, there's time, there's places, the courses. I know Kels. I use Flight 1 for freestyle. Oh yeah, I know you do actually. I don't know why I'm so surprised about it. Right, okay. Anyone else? Right, okay, because I use and Bait Flight for racing. See, goes on it. I use Beta Flight for racing. I did use KISS at one point for racing, and it was utterly brilliant. But the only way I got around it is because the arms on the frame that I was using was so big that I could actually get the KISS 24 amp ESCs out on the arm, but I destroyed it one day. So when I say destroyed it, I crashed it, snapped arms and stuff. And at that point, the frame was discontinued, so I came away from it. And KISS never, at the time, KISS never really made a 4-in-1. They do now, and it's flipping horrendous money for a 4-in-1. 100 and whatever it might be, 109 quid, something like that, which is just ridiculous. And it's only a 25 amp per AC, which is just stupid. Especially if you can't run a 6S on it either, so that just kind of ruined that, hasn't it? So after that I moved across to Beta Flat as my racing rigs. Let me put this camera in a minute because it's being dodgy. Yeah, so I moved across to Beta Flight for racing. Never looked back really. It is good stuff. And then I was saying that I've always used KISS for freestyle. 5-inch Mr. Steel Alien, beautiful stuff. I had a 6-inch Alien running KISS, but I do have a freestyle rig running Beta Flight, only because I had it's running the Dal RC stuff. It's running the 40 amp Pro, which I absolutely love and adore. It's on a Screech frame. It's been great. So yeah. So, and I've heard that a lot of people use KISS for freestyle and Beta Flight for racing. I think Kelsey's the only one I know actually uses Flight 1 for freestyle. But hey ho, she's following in Schizo's steps. And then good. Shall we talk some controversial stuff? How many people got into the QEs that they wanted to get into this year, or the ones that you can book at the moment? I love this delay malarkey. It's just like me quiet. My phone's gone off as well. Oh, Let's Draw Notes on. That's amazing. I love this, guys. We were actually on it not so long ago, and it was really good. So there you go. Like my little hangs at the bottom, and I can tuck him away. He's not going to short anything out because it's the female version, and nothing's going to hit it, and it can't short out anything. Flight 1 is all about the flippy floppy. I love Jav's terminology. It's all about the flippy floppy. The flip and the flop. Right, so we're done with that for the minute. We need to sort out a VTX. And where is all said wires that came with? And here they are. This is the Unify Pro Race version 2. Yeah, it's not the smallest thing in the world. If I'm honest, it's the same size as a normal Unify, but it is encased. Not the bottom, but it is encased completely. And somewhere, there it is. Sorry, I'm rustling around. Sticky pad for it. Actually, the sticky pad is bigger than the flipping VTX. Not a problem. We can live with this. Isn't Flight 1 is what Schizo uses, and then on the other scale, Flight 1 is what Vanover uses, from what I understand. I might be wrong. I think I'm right though. Right, so this is the HV version, which will take 2S to 6S input. Pam 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 pam. Won't be higher. So on our flight controller here, like we had a 5V or 10V jumper for a camera, which we're running on 5V because it will quite happily set on 5V. Again, I've pre-tinned the wires here last night because I was cheating. Alright, on the VTX ones which are here, there is a jumper again, 5V or 10V. So if you're using the 5V Unify, is it Unify Pro V3, which is 5V only, obviously you're going to need to set it to 5V, but naturally this board comes set to 10V, so we're good to go with the HV Unify straight onto there. And then these four that I've pre-setted here, we've got live and ground on the front here, which are the 5V because we're using Crossfire. The two above it, which I haven't used, these are actually the 3.3V ones, so if you guys are running Spectrum, that's where you need to be. And I've had this problem the whole time I've used LRC stuff. The next time I've gone, they give you an RC in and out, which you can use for your S bus and telemetry, and they say you can wire all your Crossfire stuff into it as well. And when I put FR Sky S bus into here with telemetry, it works perfect. When I put Crossfire into here and it's set up properly before any cheeky ass anything, can I get it to talk? But if I move the Crossfire wires back to RX2 and TX2, Crossfire comes live perfectly every time. So if you are going in this route, Crossfire on this back two, FS on the front two, even though the manual will tell you you can have Crossfire on the front two. Alright. Alright, let's get some solder on ground and video. Ooh. 7 to 26 volts, so we're good. We're good on this one. So I need the first two. Let's get some solder. Now apparently it's not an inverted. It's not inverted at all. It shouldn't matter. It's an F7. On the F7 on the dial there is, from what I believe, there is no inverted, or an F7 in general just doesn't matter if it's inverted or not. Right, it's live and ground. Video is fourth one in. There we go, video, and this I haven't actually done before. The data stream, which is the last one, it's going to be for our smart audio. Oh, that's fired off a conversation. To invert this S plus SI, you will need a non-inverted, I think, hence having to use RT. Possibly, but I didn't think it mattered when you were using an F7. I thought it was doable enough to work it out itself. Don't know. Right, we are going to wire in this VTX, and because I'm not a fan of long build videos, we will call it a night, and then tomorrow all we need to do is put on the Crossfire, and then get programming. That's a bit wonky donkey. Man, maybe I need to get some new glasses after soda, isn't it? Dad's right, I think S bus is inverted signal. I'm not a U-What. See? This is why I did a disclaimer at the beginning. The S bus is purely for S bus. Couldn't set the nano to S bus in the output. Then we're talking in the correct manner. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. The best person to know the answer to this, if he's on, and if he's not, he watched last night's broadcast because he messaged me this morning, is Eson. Eson is the gent from DalRC. So if he is around, or at some point he watches this video, if he could drop a comment in the box below. Eson is the man who can, apparently. Well, he should be able to, because he is Eson is DalRC. Very nice guy. So yeah, Eson, if you're watching and you do know the answer to that one, which I hope you do, just drop it in the comments box below, and then we can all see tomorrow. So fiddly. It's like reading those comments. It's like Jab is the rep for Crossfire. Does he need to work for TBS? Okay, no, Toby works for Crossfire. I'm not gonna lie, I switched from FR Scud to Crossfire a long time ago, along with Javenet actually, and it was just stunning. You're gonna have to keep an eye on Traffy. You're gonna message Traffy. Hey Traffy, I was picking up your equipment the other night, and I think I deserve a sponsorship. See what he comes back with. I think he might be too busy with everybody else, but you know, hey ho, you never know, Jab. You might get somewhere. Right, what I like to do is twist these wires together, not so much like that. What I won't do is twist the white one, because that is my smart audio. I know I said earlier I like things to be super simple and stuff when I'm racing. No, and if I'm honest, to keep myself happy, I would rather just use the button on the back of the VTX to change my video signal. But everybody uses smart audio, and it's just so easy when you're in the field. But because this is smart audio 2.0, we are wiring directly to the Crossfire. Right, so I need to know, make sure I've got it's going in that away underneath. So I want enough cable, so come around and go there. There we go. We will leave the Crossfire out for the minute. Flintstones granite button. Oh, it's just sometimes I just don't believe what the OSD or the cross, you know, especially if you do it on a Lewis script for Crossfire, I sometimes just don't believe what it's telling me, and sometimes you just can't beat the old push the button and get the job done. It's that way I know what it's done. But yeah, for quickness, the old smart audio is the way to go. Right, let's just tin some of these wires and get this VTX on. I really didn't think I would be able to talk for so long, but if you ask anybody else that knows me, they will probably turn around and say to you, man, this guy can waffle shit for hours. Sorry, swore again. Got a ladies present, sorry cows. So yeah. Right, a little bit of solder. I can't see which one's which now. Oh, it'd be the glare, that's the problem. Right, ground live video, here we go. So we've got ground in there. Notice I'm pointing the wires inwards. Live. I need my tweezers. Isn't Kelsey's on? Kelsey's on Crossfire? I'm sure of it, aren't you? You must be. There we go. I'm on Crossfire Freestyle, not racing. Reason why? Why wouldn't you be on the same across? I don't understand why you would, if you're on Crossfire, why you wouldn't have Crossfire in your racing rigs. Tell Malk he needs to stop eating the sweeties I sent him and buy some Crossfire modules. The tinier, you know what I mean? The smaller, the lighter, it's faster. And you don't have to keep swapping between the two. Just get everything on oh, that's looking good. What I need to make sure is that when that beautiful top plate goes on, that we've got plenty of room still. Oh yeah, it's going to be minimum. It's going to be literally like a mil clearance between the FC and the VTX. Crossfire is going to be king for days. Not at the moment. It's just going to be king forever. Right, Pete. I am going to cut it there for this evening. So we've got motors in, ESC on, and flight controller on, linked into the ESC. We have camera wired in. We have VTX now wired in, except for the smart audio, because we're going to wire this to the Crossfire, which we will do tomorrow night. For the last installment, and then we're going to jump onto the desktop itself. Alright, and we're going to program it, flash the firmware, program it, and then we're going to take it Monday night up to the up to our local horse place where Jab and Toby SliderFPV will be, along with Mike, and hopefully Damo. Is Damo actually going to come out one night? Do we know? Maybe. And Steve and all the rest of them. And we'll try it out. We'll have a fly. We'll get our pins. We'll move the arms around, change its configuration, and we will see what's what. So yeah, guys. Thanks for joining again. Tomorrow night is the last night. It will be complete, and then obviously we'll put a production together of all its flight and how it gets on. But until then, nighty night, take care, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye bye.